Booze flavors are always popular with jerky lovers, and this one is no exception. So let's make this Jack and Coke beef jerky recipe. All right, we're gonna start with 2 pounds, eye of round. Now, I always keep this stuff pre-sliced and pre-measured in my freezer, 2 pounds. That way, ready to make real quick test batches, everything's ready to go. All I gotta do is make sure it's thawed out before I go. So, once I got the meat in, we just go ahead, add half a cup Jack Daniels, brown sugar, white sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. And then, of course, 2 cans Coca-Cola. Now, all these ingredients and measurements and everything are gonna be down in the description. Plus, we have everything broke down step by step in our blog at jerky.com. Add this second can. Watch that stuff foam up. All right, now we just get our hands dirty and start mixing this stuff up. All this foam is still in there, so it's kind of weird. You can't see anything, but you just want to mix this stuff up thoroughly. You want to make sure all the dry ingredients get mixed in with the liquid. Make sure everything properly dissolves, because that's going to help make sure the flavor's consistent. And then you just want to make sure, pull all that meat apart. This is really going to go a long way in making sure that that flavor stays consistent. Just make sure to mix this stuff thoroughly. Do not half-ass this step. Now, all that's left is to cover it up tightly, throw it in the fridge. So now it's been about 50 hours since we put this in the fridge. Now we're gonna get to racking this stuff up. So there's no real rocket science to racking this stuff up. Really, there's just a couple things you wanna keep in mind. You wanna make sure that all the pieces are laid completely flat, nothing's pinched or folded over, and then you wanna make sure nothing's touching. You want proper airflow all the way around the piece of the meat. So that's it. Just make sure plenty of room around everything for proper airflow. You don't have to worry too much about tetrasizing all the pieces on. This is a 6-tray dehydrator, and I can get 4 pounds really comfortably. Since this is the only batch we're making, I've got plenty of trays, so I don't have to worry about maximizing the number of pieces on every single tray. All right, let's shut this thing up, get this thing dehydrating. Now on this machine, I know 140 degrees is gonna give me the texture I want, and then I'm gonna start checking it at about 3.5 hours. All right, so I started checking this at about 3 hours and monitored it the whole time. Overall, it's just over 4 hours on it, and then it's been sitting. I really like the tear on that. I like the pliability, a little bit of surface texture, but I'm calling this one done. Finally, let's try it out. We've made booze flavors before, and it can very easily get overpowered by the alcohol, but I'm really surprised by this one. You just want it subtly there, but not overwhelming, and I think this hits the mark. The sweetness from the Coca-Cola and the added sugar really pulls through, and it really helps to balance that Jack Daniels flavor. Honestly, out of all the booze ones we've made recently, this is probably my favorite one. This was a really good recipe. Out of all the booze flavors that we've made, this one I absolutely suggest that you try. If you're gonna try this recipe, let me know down in the comments, and then come back later and let me know what you think and what you'd change differently the next time you make it. Who knows, I may make your version in one of our next videos. If you got any value out of this video at all, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. We're posting new beef jerky recipes to YouTube all the time, and I don't want you to miss a single one, because one of them may be the perfect jerky for you. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next time in the jerky.com test kitchen.